All right. So in this lesson, we're going to focus on understanding how to use the triangle congruence properties. So the point of this lesson, is to use the triangle congruence properties. Okay, so these are the four that we're going to focus on. I think it would be great to copy this down really neatly in your notebook because we'll be using these a lot. So this is side, 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 because they have all three sides are congruent to each other. So this one is three congruent sides. That side, side, side. This is side, angle, side. So side, these two sides are congruent, these angles, and these two sides. So the angle is between the two sides. Okay, and then we have angle, side, angle. And then this one's very similar. It's just angle, angle, side. Basically, as long as we have two angles and a side, then we have got enough information. So these are the four of the ways to show that triangle is congruent. So these are 4 ways to know that two triangles are congruent. So we're going to use these properties. I'm going to give you an example of some triangles, and you're going to look and decide if any of these apply to know if the triangles are congruent or not. So let's look at example 1. So to start this one off, I at least want you guys to copy down the diagram of the triangles so that you can take good notes on how the triangles relate to each other. So, example 1. Okay, so let's look and see, what do I have? What are my congruent parts? So first I see that this line segment is congruent to this line segment. The way that I'm going to label that is I'm going to say segment KM is congruent to segment NP. So that's the side. This, and to keep track of this is a side. I have another set of sides congruent. So I also have KL is also congruent to NR. That's another side. And then this last little mark right in here tells me that I have an angle. I think it's a good habit to just use 3 letters to label the angle. So, MKL is congruent to angle PNR. And so I have 2 sides and the angle between them. So this is enough information. So I'll check, yes, it's enough information. And my congruence property is going to be side, angle, side. And my congruence statement is just the name of the triangle. So I'm going to say triangle KNL is congruent to triangle NPR. So in this example, we had one side, an angle, and another side in between each other, which is enough information to show that these triangles have to be the exact same triangle. The congruence property is side, angle, side. And so triangle KNL is congruent to triangle NPR. Oh, whoops, sorry. KML. There we go. KML is congruent to NPR. Sorry for that typo. Okay, we're going to do just 3 more examples, and then we're going to practice this on Thursday in class. So here is example 2. So why don't you take a minute, pause the video, copy the example down, and think about if you think this is enough information to know if these 2 triangles are congruent. All right, so what do we have? I have this segment is congruent to this segment. So let me start writing out my congruent parts. MN is congruent to QR. So I have one side, and then I also have NP is congruent to RS. So I have another side. But that's all they're giving me. There's no other things between these 2 triangles that are the same. So I only have 2 sides, which is not enough. These triangles could still be different. So I don't need to fill out this part because I don't have enough information. These triangles might not be congruent. Okay, let's do 2 more examples. So why don't you look at this example for a minute? example 3, copy down these triangles and see if you can figure out if we have enough information here in this picture. So let's look at my congruent parts. The sides are easier for me, so I'm just going to start with the sides. So I see that I have SQ, and I can see that S is corresponding to U. So SU is congruent to UT. So I have one side. That's a start. Now let's look at my angles. I have this angle here and this angle here. So angle RSQ is congruent to angle VUT. So this angle is congruent to this angle. And then I have another angle. I have RQS is congruent. So that's this angle right here is congruent to VTU. And so what do I have? I have angle, side, angle. So that's enough information. So I know my triangles are congruent by angle, side, angle. And so let's write my congruent statement. So triangle RQS is congruent to triangle VTU. Okay, we'll do one last one and then we'll practice this more in class. Okay, example 4. So take a minute and look what they're showing us in the diagram and tell me if you think these triangles are congruent. So let's start with the sides. I have one pair of sides congruent, and I can see that D and C line up. So I'm going to say side CA is congruent to side DF. So I have one pair of sides, and then they're also giving me this angle. So let's see. So that's angle BCA is congruent to angle EDF. But that's it. It's only 2 pieces of information, a side and an angle, which is not enough because the other side could be different lengths. And so I cannot show that these triangles are congruent. It's not enough information. So we'll practice that more in class, looking at the diagrams, breaking down the congruent parts, and deciding if there's enough information. And the triangles will get trickier with some parts of them touching. So make sure you have these 4 examples down to follow along when we learn this in class tomorrow.